Jai. Om Pravyadam Agnim Prayanomiduram Yamarajam Gachatu Ripravaha. Perfect. Let's put this here.
Our Bhakti Mother Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. She's the doctor. Last time you met him, last time you couldn't come.
First time I see her.
Yeah, last time she couldn't come. She's our regular Bhakti Mother.
And who is she disciple of?
Oh,
no. No? Okay. She has a name like a Hare Krishna name, yeah. Arun Priya.
Arun Priya, yeah.
That's like an initiated name. When we initiate people, sometimes we give that name to people. Arun Priya.
She's very
Aruna Priya means, Radharani's name is Priya. And she's Aruna Priya means she gets a little reddish when Krishna misbehaves. So she gets a little angry. So sometimes you must be getting angry at your husband, right? So that's Arun Priya. So you can tell your husband, I'm sorry you married Arun Priya, what can I do? So who else you're expecting now?
Jagdish and Kalpana.
They'll be coming a little late, right? Because they went to a temple, you said? Huh? And they've been to our program, yeah. So they understand what we do, right? Yes, okay. So we'll get started. And I will start with a prayer, which prayer actually is to the Lord, to the spiritual master, on behalf of the Lord, and saying to him, thank you for giving us this knowledge, and please bless us so that we always do things that pleases the Lord. And here we have Lord Jagannath. You see two of them. One is the one that I have, that I go everywhere I go, I take him with me. And the other one is Jagannath, who's going to be installed today in this house. So we're going to do what is called Pran Pratishtha today. That is done according to a standard for Jagannath's Pran Pratishtha. When you put Jagannath in the house, how do you do Lord Jagannath in the house like that? A little different from how you bring Krishna into the house. Krishna is, he's very, you might say, Hindi they say high funda person. He wants everything higher scale, everything has to be done perfectly. All the mantras have to be chanted like this, all that type of stuff, And if you don't do that properly, then those who are servants of Jagannath get very angry, and so you can't offend them, like that. Jagannath is not like that. He is like, okay, just show me some love, and I'm happy. But there is still a process, and you will see the process. I'll speak the process, and then you will know. It is also involved. It's not just anything, but not as high a standard as Krishna. If you install Krishna, that's a very high standard. You better do 7 days of prayers. It's a 7-day program. Proper Pran Pratishtha is done over 7 days. And all day and night, not just 1 hour a day like that. 7 days, 24 hours like that. It's a very long process. And lot of prayers you have to make, a lot of promises you have to make. That I will feed you 7 times a day. That I will do kirtan in front of you 5 times a day. That I will dance in front of you at least 3 times a day. All these types of things you have to say before Krishna will come into an idol. Then that idol is no longer idol. It is now an archa vigraha. It is a person, like that. So most temples don't do that, and therefore they say they did Pran Pratishtha, but they never did it properly. But with Jagannath, we don't have that big issue. And he's completely Krishna, as much as any Krishna. Like we have Kalachandji at the temple in Dallas. This guy will be the same strength person inside your house. So it's very powerful. And I'll speak more about that. Anyway, I'll start with the prayer. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and by the sweetest graces of my spiritual master, my darkened eyes were opened with the salve of love in the form of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances, gratitude, and homage to him. Vanchakalpa Turbischa, Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhya, Vaishnavebhya, Namo Namaha. Let us offer our respectful obeisances upon all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desire trees, for they can fulfill desires of everyone, for they're full of compassion for all fallen conditioned souls. Jai Radhe. So Krishna is never separated from his devotee. Wherever Krishna is, his devotee will be there too. Krishna, you will never see a painting of just Krishna alone, and if you see that, it means the person who painted that didn't know what he was doing or she was doing, no matter how nice that painting might be. Now, sometimes you will see Krishna with a cow, because the cow is his mother. So Krishna is never alone. Krishna is with somebody. He's out with his cow, or he's with his... Now, we can say Krishna is with his flute, because the flute is a very amazing person. He's called Venu, a very amazing person. So that also means Krishna is not alone. Krishna is with someone. He's with his flute, like that. So that is why the prayer is both to the spiritual master as representative of God and to all the Vaishnavas. So this program that we're doing today is called Smyhl, and you can see that written here on this. So Smyhl stands for Sankirtan Mahayagya Harinam Lifestyle. The reason is that in all of scriptures, this is the Vedas. How the scriptures is divided into altogether 24 parts. The first 4 are the 4 Vedas: Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, and Atharva Ved. Then come 2 Itihasas, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Then Hare Krishna, come right in. Come right in.
Mataji, come upstairs.
Come inside. Hare Krishna, Mataji. So nice to see you again. Please come inside. Please come inside. Sit on the...
If you want, you can sit on chair.
No, but sit on what you call, no? There's no... don't sit on the ground like that. Sit on... Just remove one of these chairs. These chairs are not necessary there, right? Just remove... Or sit on the chair, or we'll take the chair out and you can sit on the ground. However you prefer. Whatever you prefer. Yeah. That's right. So of the 24 parts of scriptures, 4 of them are the 4 Vedas. Then come Ramayana and Mahabharata, that makes it 6. Then there are what is called the 18 Puranas. So originally all of that was in one Veda called the Yajur Veda. The Yajur Veda had everything in it. But then came Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga is the age when people don't have very good memory and they don't have very good intelligence. We tend to forget things very quickly. We have to repeat things for somebody to understand what we are saying properly. So in Kali Yuga, that one Veda was divided into these 26 parts. The 4 Vedas, the 2 Itihasas and 18 Puranas. And then the 18th Purana is called the Bhagavat Purana. And famously, it is known as the Srimad Bhagavatam, like that. And that is why you see some places they do what is called Bhagavat Sapta. That's the reason they do Bhagavat Sapta, because of that Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses in it. Originally it had 1 billion verses in it. It was reduced to 18,000 for Kali Yuga. Because in Kali Yuga it takes 7 years just to read 18,000 verses. And people don't even do that, right? So some of you know, you have not read the Bhagavatam, right? Some of you have not even read the Bhagavad Gita, which is only 700 verses. So my point is that these 18,000 verses contain all knowledge in them. Total knowledge is contained in these 18,000 verses. So in these 18,000 verses, it is explained that in Kali Yuga, to live a successful life, a life that is completely successful, you have to engage in what is called Golokera Premadhana Harinam Sankirtan. What does that mean? Goloka is the original planet from which all of us came. Originally, we never were in the material world. We were in the spiritual world, in a place called Goloka, which is where Krishna, Radharani, Lord Shiva, all of them, anyone you can think who is worshipable, and each of us, all of them are all of us from the same place called Goloka. You see what I'm saying? And there, the greatest thing in that place is called Prema. And that Prema, there they call Krishna Prema, Radhika Prema, like that, different person in Prema. So, the wealth there is the wealth of love. Just like here, wealth is considered like property, you know, either it's money or a house or, you know, something like that, right? Some resource is considered wealth. In Goloka, it is not wealth because everybody has any amount of resources they want. There, any person can build a universe on their own. Populate the whole universe with people and cows and everything and become the Brahma of that universe. Any person can do that from Goloka. That's how much power. So they don't need what we call here wealth. There it is like breathing air. In America, how much does it cost to breathe air, right? Nothing. Nobody thinks air is, you know, my wealth. I have so much air, I bottled up and I put it in the bank locker. You know, nobody does that, right? Because air is freely available to everybody. You see what I'm saying? So there, all wealth that we have here is freely available to everybody. Nobody's going to get a job in Microsoft or whatever else place they go and work, or run a business. You don't have to do anything. Automatically you have everything. There the wealth is the wealth of love. That is the wealth. So it's called Golokera Premadhana. Premadhana means it's the wealth of love. So what is that Premadhana? In this world, that Premadhana is chanting the glories of God. That is called Kirtan. Kirtan comes from the Hindi word, Sanskrit word, Kirtiyate. Kirtiyate means to glorify. And if you glorify, then that means you're expressing love. Just like we say to God, Jai, you know, like that, we're glorifying Him. We're expressing our love to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that ding happened right there. So this process is to actually chant the holy names of the Lord, to do kirtan, to sing the names of the Lord. If you sing loudly the names of the Lord, that is called kirtan. Or if you do japa but loudly, where somebody 15 feet away can hear, that is called kirtan. If only you can hear or you're just chanting softly, that is, you know, not called kirtan. That is japa, but it is not as powerful as kirtan. Kirtan is 1,000 times more powerful than japa. Like that. So, Golokera Premadhana Harinam Sankirtan. Why the sang is added to the kirtan is you do it alone, it's kirtan. But when you do it with other people, it is called Sankirtan. Like there's a sangha added to the kirtan. So it's called Sankirtan. Like that. That is the highest process for creating any result in this world. Now, most people don't know that. No university teaches this. So this is why Prabhupada wanted us to create a university where these things are also taught. People should learn medicine, they should learn architecture, they should learn whatever they want to learn, but they should also learn what it means to become fully successful in life. Because yes, you might become a doctor, right? But we have heard doctors committing suicide. Why would a doctor commit suicide? Doctor is considered like one of the best degrees in the world, right? At one time it was the most respected. Today it's not. Today AI is more respected than doctor. It's a fact, okay? We might not agree with it. Some of us don't like AI. But whether you like or don't like doesn't make any difference to the truth. I may not like that 1 plus 1 equals 2. I would prefer that 1 plus 1 equals 11, right? You say that? I might feel like that, right? I want 1 and 1 to be 11. Why 1 and 1 should become 2? So I say, I don't agree with 1 and 1 equals 2. I start a whole program that tells everybody we should all vote for 1 plus 1 equals 11. and stop this nonsense. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Right? Now, will 1 plus 1 start becoming 11 after that? What do you think? You think if the 9 billion people on this planet decided 1 plus 1 equals 11, that 1 plus 1 will now equal 11? No. See? Truth is the truth. You cannot change the truth. If you change the truth, it is not truth. Truth is unchangeable. The unchangeable truth is, if you glorify the Lord, then you will actually get the highest benefit. You see what I'm saying? Like that. And so the acharyas, I'm going to tell you a story and then we'll get the program started. I always like telling stories. Everybody knows me, knows that. I love telling stories to explain things, you know. But there's a story behind this. The story is the story of Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, you know that there was a great warrior whose name was Gatorgach. He was the son of Bhima and Hidamba, right? His wife's name was Hidamba. So Gatorgach also had a son, you know, and his name was, in India they actually worship him now. One of his names is Ramba, but he has another name. Gatorgach's son, yeah. Yeah, look it up on the, good thing is we have phones these days, AI. So anyway, so in India, they worship him actually today. Anyway, he had a son. So his son, he loved to fight. He really loved to fight. So I think it's Khatusham, yeah. That was Gatorgach's son. Today they worship Khatusham, right, in India. Yeah. So this Khatusham, he had another name as well, actually. Before he became known as Khatusham, there was some other name, okay, also. So anyway, I'm just going to use the name Ramba for now, okay, to fill in. Anyway, so what happened was, when the Battle of Kurukshetra happened, because he loved fighting, he knew everything about fighting. He knew every fighter's name, who the father was of that fighter, the mother, what village they came from, if they were married, what the wife's name was, what their children's name. You know, it's like, I don't know how many of you follow NFL in America, National Football League. But there are some people in National Football League that know everything about every player, you know, what player this team played, what team this player played for before he came to this team. You know what I mean? How much he's getting paid, you know, this, that, and the other. They know everything. But they love their sport so much. In fact, you might have seen, I have seen this anyway, that sometimes you watch an NFL game, especially like a very important game. So sometimes people will put up a placard and say, NFL, the real religion. That's how much they love NFL. You know, it's like for them, it's like God. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, for him, fighting was like God. He loved fighting. So the fight was going on between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, right? The two armies. And the Pandavas started winning. So he went to his father and he said, Baba, I'm going to fight from the other side now. I'm joining the Kauravas. Because he was on the Pandavas side, right? He said, I'm going to go and join the Kauravas and fight. He said, why? He said, you know, because you guys are winning, he said. He said to his father, because you guys are winning. We should win. We want to win. He said, no. If you win, the war will be over. I don't want the war to be over. So I'll go and fight from the other side and I'll level the playing field. So now it'll take longer. You know, Iran is playing that game right now, right? Make it go longer. You can weaken a person on the other side, you might get better solution, right? But if you're too strong, too weak, it's not a fight. Of course, Kauravas were not weak, okay? Kauravas had Krishna's army on their side, remember? And undefeated army, never defeated in history. You're fighting an undefeated army, that means, that's why Duryodhana was a very happy guy, right? Oh yeah, I have Krishna's army, I'm going to win this war, you know, like that, right? So then Bhima told him, not a good idea, you shouldn't do that. No, I have to. So Bhima realized that he's not going to listen to me. So he said, Gatorgach, he went to his Gatorgach and spoke, the father. Father is not Bhima, father is Gatorgach, right? Ghatorghat said, no, don't do it. So he said, no, I have to fight. I cannot bear us stopping this fight. For me, my life is fighting. That's my life here. No life here, what's the point of life, right? So then Ghatorghat said, why don't you do this? Why don't you go and speak to Dada? Go and speak to your grandfather. You know, he loved his grandfather. Never in his life he said once no to his grandfather. So Ghatorghat knew that he cannot say no to Bhima. So he sends him to Bhima. So he starts having an argument with Bhima, and same argument. And Bhima realizes, boy, this boy is about to say no to me. You know what I mean? Which will be the first time he ever said no in his life. Before that happens, I better find a solution. So the solution he found was, why don't you go and speak to Krishna? So he says, that's a good idea. He didn't want to say no to him. So he said, okay, I'll go and speak to Krishna. Yes, I'll go and speak to Krishna. So it's saying yes now, right? Didn't say no, I said yes. He goes to speak to Krishna. Krishna explains to him why all this happened, what is happening, you know, and that if the Pandavas win, you know what I mean, that would be a very good thing to happen, because then dharma will be re-established like that. But Rama is not satisfied. No. I don't think this works. That doesn't work. He says to Krishna, can you make another way happen that the Kauravas don't lose? And Krishna thinks, oh my God, this guy is something else. You know what I mean? So he says, no, I'm sorry. I think, you know, if you really want to go to the other side, you go. Krishna says to him. So he says, no, but I can't go unless you bless me. So what blessing you want? He says, I want the blessing that when I go on the other side, if for any chance, by any chance, I get killed, my head should stay alive until the end of the war. Huh? Barbarik. His name is Barbarik. Now you got the name. Barbarik was his name. Yeah. Somebody called him Ramba. He had a number of names. He had nicknames as well. Barbarik was the famous name that he had. Okay, then he now is known as Khatusham. Now he's known as Khatusham. So anyway, so then he went the other side. He crossed the line. There's a line. You cross the line, you're on the Kaurava side. You cross the line on this side, you're Pandava. He crossed the line and head gone. Immediately, just as he crossed the line, head came out. Head on the ground, and he's watching the war now. Enjoying the war. He's happy that he's enjoying the war. Just like an NFL spectator is happy the game is going on, I'm happy. His wife tells him, I need to wash the dishes. He'll tell his wife, I'll divorce you, don't worry. I got to watch the NFL game. That's how much these guys are into what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, so anyway, so he actually, then the war finished after a long time. The war went on, then it finished. So in the Pandava camp, the Pandava brothers were talking, you know. And so Bhima was feeling very happy because he had promised Panchali that I will kill these boys and I'll drink their blood. He was so angry, you know, because of what they did at the Chirharan time, you know, when they tried to remove Panchali's clothing. So he was very happy. And while he was happy, he said, I killed the most number of Kauravas. So then the eldest brother, Yudhishthir, said, young brother, you did not kill the most number of Kauravas. Arjuna killed the most number of Kauravas. You know? Arjuna said, no, that's not true. So he says, what do you mean? He says, you killed the most number. He said, I noticed that you were killing a lot of people. He says to Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir said, but I was only killing them so that they won't kill you, because we knew that if you were on our side, we're going to win this war. So I was really protecting you. He said, yeah, but you killed a lot of people protecting me. So now the argument became, so Nakul and Sahadev are the other two brothers, right? So Sahadev, by the way, my 10th generation family comes from the village of Sahadev. So Mahabharata is very close to me, you know. So anyway, so Sahadev says to them, I have the answer. Sahadev and Nakul are the brains. They're the astrologer, the counselor, they're not really fighters, but they're like Brahminical brains, you know, but they're Kshatriyas, but they're Brahminical brains. So they said, who would give the right answer? He said, Babrik. Babrik? We thought Babrik died. No, he's still alive. His head is still there. He knows everything. He can give you the full data. This guy is the data analytics guy. He knows all the data. He knows who killed who, when it happened, this, that, the other, the timing, what happened to the person. He can give you the full details. You have to sit there for the whole Mahabharata again from him. He can recount the details, you know. So he said, oh, that's very nice. So let's go to Babrik. So I went to Babrik. I said, Babrik, so how are you doing? So I'm not very happy. So why are you not happy? The war is over. Why did you guys win the war? What's wrong with you all? You could have fought a little longer. You could have taken your time. Enjoy the fight, right? Why are you killing so many people so quickly? You know? Why you did this to that one? They also played games, right? They killed someone in a way that didn't sound like the right way to kill the person. So, you know, he's sort of like, he's getting angry at his grandparents. These are grandparents he's talking to, okay? So then they said, well, please calm down, you know. Please, we have a question. If you can answer the question. Yeah, what is the question? Who killed the most number of Kauravas amongst the five of us? We think we know that it's not Nakul and Sahadev, but it's three, there's argument. One of these three is doing. So he said, none of you. He said, what? But we are the ones who killed everybody. No, you didn't. You didn't kill. So who killed all these Kauravas? He said, well, Sudarshan Chakra. He was flying around everywhere killing everybody. You guys were firing the arrow, but he was the one who was actually killing them. This is the Narayani. You think you can kill the Narayani? You are no show in front of the Narayani. But Sudarshan has. It's Krishna Sudarshan. Then they thought, not possible. So why? He said, Krishna promised, I will not use my weapon. So how can it be possible that, you know, the Sudarshan went everywhere and killed, right? So then they ran to Krishna. Krishna, what? I'm sure you're all happy. No, we're not happy. Why are you not happy? You broke your promise. What promise? You said you were not going to use your weapon. How come your weapon killed everybody? He said, what? He said, yeah. He said, your Sudarshan went. He said, Sudarshan, come here right now. So he called Sudarshan. So Sudarshan comes in front of me. You killed everybody? Yes. Why you killed everybody? I told them I'm not going to use my weapon. Why? Who are you to go out on your own? He said, no, my lord, they insulted you. I cannot stand people insulting you. They insult you, I'll kill them. So I don't need your permission. So Krishna said, well, what can I do? This boy doesn't listen to me. You know? He went out on his own and he killed everybody. Right? So then the acharyas are now discussing this. So the acharyas say, in the same way like Sudarshan killed everybody, in this world, everything that happens because of the holy name. People think, I did it. No, you didn't do it. The Lord did it in the form of the holy name. And what is the holy name? The holy name comes out of the flute of Lord Krishna when he plays the flute. It's called Venugita. That Venugita runs the whole creation, spiritual and material world. Not just material world, runs the spiritual world too. If that flute stops playing, everybody will freeze. Nobody can even move. They freeze. That's the power of the flute of Krishna. That's why they say he is the best devotee of Krishna. Nobody gets as much quality time from Krishna as the flute, not even Radharani. Krishna flute enjoys him all the time. He sleeps with him, he bathes with him. Krishna never separates the flute from him. If you try to take the flute away from Krishna, it's not going to happen. You know? And when the gopis try that, because the gopis are very mad at the flute. You're a boy, that's a boy. How come he's kissing you? He should be kissing a girl, right? Boy should kiss a girl, not boys kiss a boy. So they complained to the flute. But the flute says, no, but what I do for Krishna, you don't do. So they say, what don't we do? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Come right in.
Yeah.
You can sit on the chair, Prabhuji, or sit on the ground, however you want. There's a chair on the other side too. Perfect. So, anyway, so it is true that those of us who will chant the holy names of the Lord, that we will achieve greatness that cannot be imagined. Now you might say, but I don't notice that. I don't notice that Hare Krishnas are the greatest people in this world, you know, the richest, most powerful, most famous, or anything like that. So how you can say that? The answer is that Krishna himself does not like his devotees to become proud. So he feels if I let them have the wealth now, they'll become proud. Then I don't want them to call me their Lord, and I don't want them to be known as my devotees. My devotees should be very humble. They should always be very humble. So Krishna actually holds back what you're supposed to get as a result of what you're doing, and he gives it to you after death. Why? Because after death, once he gives it to you, now you don't have the conditioning of your previous life. You won't make the same mistakes that we made in our previous life. One of the things is nobody can be sitting here or anywhere listening to Krishna consciousness if you were not a demigod or goddess in one of your lives in the past. Not possible. Only way you can become a devotee of Krishna is if you have become a demigod or demigoddess, you have studied all the Vedas, you have bathed in all the holy places of the world, then you can become devotee. Now, we studied the Vedas, we became demigods. Demigods are very rich people, right? They're very rich, true? They say the poorest demigod has in their pocket change. You know what pocket change is? You call it chilla or something. What do you call it? Chilla. Chilla. Chillara. Chillara in the pocket. How much chillara everybody has in their pocket? In India, in America nobody puts chillara in their pocket. But in India they do, right? How much do you think chillara would be sitting in anyone's pocket? 20 rupees? Okay, 100 rupees maximum, 100 rupees, right? Okay, 100 rupees in India, is that rich? If you have 100 rupees, are you a rich person in India? You're nothing, right? A beggar has more than 100 rupees, right? In fact, beggars have spots that are worth money. They sometimes give that spot as the hedge to the, right? To the son-in-law, the dowry, that's their spot because the spot is worth 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Not 100 rupees, right? These demigods, chillara, they carry chillara too, by the way. Their chillara is 2 earth planets worth of value sitting in their pocket as chillara. Try to imagine what wealth they have. Okay? We were all of them were one day like that. How come today we are chasing money again? Oh, I'd like to get $20,000 a month pay. It'd be nice if I can get 20,000, 30,000. It'd be nice if I became a billionaire, you know. Right? How come? Because we are forgetting what is the purpose of life. And so we go back and make the same mistake again. Those of you who are parents here, how many times your children make the same mistake? Never, right? They make mistake, you tell them, never make the same mistake again, right? I know in my parenting, I've seen my children make the same mistake 1,000 times. You see what I'm saying? We made mistakes millions of times. We've lived billions of lives. We've made billions of mistakes. So that is why Krishna holds it back. He knows if I give it to them, they'll do nonsense again and then fall back again down, then they come up again, fall down, up and down, called samsara chakra. You know how the Ferris wheel is there? Goes down, up, right? We go hellish planets, middle planets, heavenly planets, middle planets, hellish planets, middle planets. We are going like that in our lives. Samsara chakra. Right? So Krishna knows that. So he knows better to give it to them when they die, after they chant Hare Krishna. After they chant the holy names. No, it doesn't have to be Hare Krishna only. It could be any name of God. Prabhupada even told the Christians, chant Jesus Christ. He told those from Islam, chant Allah's names. It is just as good. Chant the names of God. That is the process. Now, Krishna is a name of God that the scriptures describe as the greatest name, but that's okay. Any name of God is good enough because it's the same person, right? There's only one God. It's not like there are millions of gods. There's only one God, but that God comes in different forms to different people at different times because he wants to relate with them, right? Just like we also have multiple roles, right? Right? Like Jagdish Prabhu, let's take your case. You're a husband to somebody, right? You're a father to somebody. You're a child to somebody. You're a friend to somebody. You're a business associate to somebody. These are all different roles, right? You don't deal with your father like you deal with your boss, right? With the boss, you just have to do what he says, and that's it. With the father, you can little argue with him, right? No, I don't want to do that. Please let me do something. You can't go to the boss and say, buy me a Mercedes-Benz. But you can go to your father and say, buy me a Mercedes-Benz, right? I'm sorry I'm saying that in front of your son. Not a smart thing for me to do. Give me ideas.
He knows.
He already knows. So, and the daughter also. So anyway, but my point is you can see, right, that we all play multiple roles. So God is greater. Why he will not play multiple roles? He will also play multiple roles. But we honor him in all those roles. We don't think that Jagdish, the father, is good, but Jagdish, the son, is bad. You don't say that, right? Same person, just different roles. So this process is why we call it Sankirtan Mahayagya. Harinam means taking the names of God. Lifestyle means now live your life in such a way that will happen. So we introduced this program where for 1 hour a week, if you do this in your home, 1 hour a week, you and one more person, you and your husband, you and your son, the children together, whoever. You can do 3, 4, 5, 6 people, no problem. You can bring friends in, whoever you want. If you don't have anybody, you can do it online with somebody online. 1 hour a week, a Smyhl program. In that Smyhl program, we're going to do one today, show a part of it so that you understand what we're doing. What we do first is we do 10 minutes of kirtan. Do 10 minutes kirtan together, which is called sing and respond, right? Lead and respond. So somebody chants, the other person responds, then they lead, this person responds. 10 minutes. Then for 5 minutes, we read from that paper you see in front of you. There's a page that starts with the 7 flames, right? Those are the 7 boons that you get. In that, the list of 7, 1 to 7, are the 7 boons. Yeah. So the very first page has it on it, the 7 flames, right? So these are the 7 boons that you get. So you read those 7 boons. When you read the 7 boons, now you know what is the benefit of that 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes, right? So now 15 minutes gone by. Then what we do is we read from the Bhagavatam 10 minutes. So we ask everybody, please have a Bhagavatam in your home. And if you don't have a Bhagavatam, then the way to do it is to go on Google, on your phone, and just Google Vedabase, Vedabase. And if you want to be exact, it's vedabase.io. Everything is .io these days, you know, Vedabase, like that. And on Vedabase, you'll see Srimad Bhagavatam there. Click on it, it'll come up, start reading from there. 10 minutes, okay? So that's the way to do it. And then after you read the 10 minutes, then we read the 5 boons you get by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Now that's on the flip side. That same page, if you flip it, it'll say Srimad Bhagavatam Mahima. There are 5 prayers there, you'll notice. Read those 5 prayers. That'll take you about 5 minutes. So now you spent half an hour, right? 10 minutes kirtan, 5 minutes, 7 boons. 10-minute Bhagavatam, 5 minutes, the benefits of reading Bhagavatam. So how much time gone now? Half an hour. Then we do 20 minutes of what is called Amya. That's on the second page. It'll say Amya at a glance. right? So that explains what Amya is. It's 5-step process that you can take your life from the lowest situation, and none of us are in the lowest, by the way, but if you were in the lowest, how you can go from lowest to highest in 5 frameworks. So that's what that explains. We talk about that for 20 minutes between one another, right? The two people. It'll take only 2 minutes to read it, but you talk for 20 minutes. And then you decide in those 20 minutes something that you'll take as a first step. We call it a micro win. Means some small step that you can take that will allow you in 1 week to make some progress. You give yourself 1 week to do the small step. That small step has to be under 5 minutes. It is a small step, it's not a big step. An example might be that I will smile more this week. That's a micro win, right? If you smile more, what do you think will happen? What do you think? What result can happen if you smile more? You're from the medical field, so some answers are good there. What happens when you smile? It'll release your? It'll release your what? Yeah, stress, right? Yeah, so that's a big advantage, right? Actually, they found now, so those who have cancer, one of the top treatments of cancer is to laugh for 20 minutes, 3 times a week. So when they're laughing, they're smiling naturally, right? You can't laugh without smiling. You can't go laugh. And you have to smile and laugh, right? You see what I'm saying? Actually, there's a guy who became a multimillionaire just teaching people how to smile. He bought a pencil, cut off the edges, put it in the mouth so it'll go out like that, and keep it there for 2 minutes like that. And then takes the pencil out and says, how do you feel? They say, oh, I feel very nice now. The pencil is forcing it, but they're not even smiling. Just the fact that the lips went wider, the brain is thinking he's smiling. And the brain is giving benefit, like one benefit is cutting stress. What else? What other benefits? Somebody else said it.
Happy hormones.
Yes. Happy hormones get created in your body. If your body is happy, you're going to be happy, right? Just like we say in English, happy wife, happy life, right? So, body is like your wife, right? It is doing so many things for you. It's looking after you, right? I mean, if you're a wife, then it's your husband looking after you. Happy husband, happy life. Right? Whichever you want to take it, I'm okay. But my point is, I'm 48 years, this is my 50th year, sorry, as a marriage counselor. So I know what I'm talking about when I talk marriages. You know what I'm saying? I became an attorney, and before I became an attorney, I was a marriage counselor. And then I went and studied marriage counseling as an attorney, because attorneys are counselors also, right? Anyway, there's the second big benefit. What is another big benefit you'll get? You can try this, by the way. It'll be proved. What is the third benefit you can get?
Everyone will smile back at you.
Yeah, you'll make friends.
That's nice.
If you smile, people will like you. If you frown at them, what do they think? They think this person doesn't like me, right? So then they also don't like you. What goes around, comes around. Multiplied. You smile at one person, 3 people will smile back at you. You'll be seeing. Nature will do that. Nature has that arrangement. If you do something good, nature will throw more back at you, which is better. Not just the person you did good to, others will also come and do good to you. It's the biggest success story in the world. You ask the top people who became successful in this world, they all say, the only reason I became successful, I gave massive value. Then massive value came back to me multiplied. I became wealthy. Simple strategy for becoming wealthy, right? So like this, there are many, and that, how long does it take to smile, by the way? Seconds, right? That's not even 5 minutes. I told you it should be under 5 minutes. Here, I just gave you a seconds process, right? So we call that micro win. And then now we have 10 more minutes left. You do kirtan again for the last 10 minutes. That's a 1-hour program. If you do it once a week, miracles will happen in your life. You'll see that happen. It's a very powerful process. We're not charging you for this information, by the way. Now, we do have charged ones too, where we give more courses on this to make it deeper and so that you can do things and become greater in your life. Because coaching costs money, right? You get coached. But the value of the coaching is always higher than whatever you paid, right? It's an investment. It's not an expense. It comes back multiplied to you. So that we call Smyhl, and that's the name there, Smyhl. And you can see how it acronyms. It's not SMILE, it's SMYHL. Right? Sankirtan Mahayagya Harinam lifestyle. Because in every lifestyle, in every age, you have to do some yagya. There's a yagya of every age. The yagya of this age is Sankirtan. The fire yagya we do is the yagya of Treta Yuga. That's at the time of Lord Ramchandra they used to do that type. But in there, do you know, the smallest kund was 1 mile by 1 mile. The smallest kund. Today, our small kunds are like this size, right? They wouldn't be considered that. There, even their cup and saucer was bigger than that. Because in Treta Yuga, the average height of a person was around 40 feet. If you're a 40-foot person, how do you think how big your cup is going to be now? Right? For us, it will be like a 200-gallon drum, right? We can't even lift it. You see what I'm saying? In Satyuga, the average height was 60 feet. Then it dropped to 20 feet in Dwapara Yuga. So 60, 40, 20. And in this, it became 6 feet. And now even 6 feet, probably hard to reach for some people. Right? That's how it drops. You see what I'm saying? So it is not our process. Fire sacrifice is not our process. The process is this process. And it is as powerful and more powerful than the fire process. Because even in the fire process, you have to chant the names of the Lord. If you don't chant mantras that are of the Lord, your yagya is worth nothing. So the real thing is the name. You see what I mean? That's creating the result. You get the idea, right? So we're doing that, and we're asking everybody, please, we launched the website just 1 hour ago. What's the time now?
2 hours.
2 hours ago, we launched the website. It's called smyhl.net. And one of our people will go around and show you the, what do you call it, the QR code, right? So you put it on your phone, it'll bring you to the site. You fill in your details, it'll take you to the site, and it'll show you the site. So now you have the site at home to work with. You see what I'm saying? And all these things that are written there is in the site. So you don't need the paper. You can take it home if you'd like to. There's no problems. We're happy you can take the paper back home. But the point is, all that is available there. And plus ideas how to make this work better. And then we have 5 more other premium channels which we're working on right now, where depends which people we're talking to. Some people are more talented people. Some people are more into being professionals. Some people are into running a small business. Some people bigger business. Some people do very large business. So we do different scales of Smyhl for them, because we want to make sure that they're succeeding in whatever they're doing in their life. You see what I'm saying? It's not one size doesn't fit all, you know what I mean? You've got to measure it according to the person. So that's why we have 6 sites like that. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of that Smyhl. And the way we're going to do it is that we're going to first do some kirtan, okay? Join in the kirtan. And then after that, we'll read those 7 boons. And I'll say a little about them, so it'll give you an idea. And then we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam. And the you have a Srimad Bhagavatam, right? It's right here, right? Yes. Okay. So we'll get it out, yeah. We might actually get it out now just so that we have it. When we need it, we'll use it. And then we'll read the 5 boons of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Take any book, no Prabhuji.
Take any book. Srimad Bhagavatam. You got it? Okay, wonderful. All right. So then we will read the 5 boons of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then I'll talk about Amya. So you'll get an idea now what Amya is. Okay? And then what we'll do is,
It's smyhl.com.
smyhl.net.
We'll come around and show you the QR code, and then you sign for it and get to.
There is a smyhl.com as well. That's a little different. But this is smyhl.net. Yeah. Smyhl.com came out some time ago.
I'll send it.
Yeah. And then you can, just.
I tried it, didn't open, so it's
Oh, it didn't open. Smyhl.com.
Yeah, 'cause
.net is not.
Or .net won't open unless you. Then it'll open. Okay. Anyway, so obviously we have some tech people here.
oh, we do have some.
Go straight into it. Why wait? But anyway, so then we'll do 10 more minutes of kirtan, and that's the Smyhl program. Okay, so we won't do the kirtan again. What we will be doing today is, you see here Jagannath. This is Lord Jagannath, who we do Pran Pratishtha for. We actually do the Pran Pratishtha. The one on the left is my Jagannath that I take everywhere I go now. Anytime I give a class, anything I do now, I always have Jagannath with me. Because I found 8 weeks ago since he came, was it 8 weeks ago? 9 weeks now? Around 9 weeks ago. Miracles have happened in my life. And my life was already very nice before that. Just amazing things started happening. So actually, people found out about that and they said, I can want Jagannath in my house too. So that's why we're doing the installation of the Jagannath that is for Prabhuji, Mataji here, and their family. We have Kaushik Prabhu here also. And a daughter-in-law who just, I heard, got her visa stamped.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to hear that. Not easy to get American visa stamped these days. So, it's good that hers was stamped. So we'll do the Pran Pratishtha, and the Pran Pratishtha will also do what is called the Nrsimha Homa at the same time. But we're now doing Nrsimha Homa differently. In America, the rule has changed now. You cannot do a Homa unless you have the permission of the fire department. If you do it, it's illegal. You can get away with it. Nobody found out, you got away with it, right? But Prabhupada said something which those of us who have properly studied ISKCON and what we should do and not do, Prabhupada made it very clear, do not break any law. He said he didn't like the idea people broke laws because it gives us a bad name. It gives ISKCON a bad name. If you break laws, right? So I decided no more fire sacrifices that way. There's another way to do it. You can do the same thing in another way where you're not breaking the law. Where we create a nice lamp, a big size lamp, and instead of throwing grains into the fire, we take flower petals and put it on the Lord. Now, what is the fire? In a fire yagya, the fire is the mouth of Krishna. That's why it's called the kunda. It is the mouth of Krishna. And you're feeding the mouth by putting rice, ghee, right? Things like that. You're feeding him. So what we do here to feed him is we make some nice food and we offer it to him and feed him that way. Well, if you just gave him rice and ghee, that's not a great feast, right? Compared to, you eat yourself nicely and give Krishna some little bit of rice and ghee. That doesn't sound like a very good proposition, right? So, and then worse, sometimes amongst Hindus, we offer him what is called Havan Samagri. Any of you eaten Havan Samagri, by the way? Please eat it and find out what it tastes like. You will think, why am I feeding this to Krishna? What's wrong with me? This is what happens when Brahmins don't come from learning, they come from being born from a Brahmin family. Imagine that, you said your son is going to become a doctor, right? So when he becomes a doctor, imagine his children say, well, I'm a doctor too. Do you think people will go to that doctor and say, treat me? I don't think so. So you don't become Brahmin by being born to a Brahmin. You become a Brahma Bandhu, but you don't become a Brahmin. You become a Brahmin by training. You have to be trained, you have to be certified, then you're a Brahmin. Otherwise, the same nonsense that's happening in India will happen everywhere in the world, where Brahmins are not doing Brahminical work, they're doing Vaishya work, they're doing Kshatriya work, they're doing other work which is not their work. They're earning money. By the way, the curse by Lakshmi is, if a Brahmin charges any money for his work, then he will go to hell. And today Brahmins charge like anything, right? It's wrong. So my point is that we are doing things now how it should be done legally, like that. And so Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. There's a chair? A chair? No problem. No.
He's okay.
You sure? Yeah. Please be comfortable. My only rule I have in my programs is you have to be happy. Everything else I can cover by mantra.
Just by looking at you, we'll be happy.
Anyway. So basically that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a installation. We're going to be doing the Homa while we're doing the installation. I'll explain that, how we're doing that. And then after that, we'll serve out some nice prasadam. Is that okay? So that's the program. Okay. So can we start with some kirtan? Probably you can do maybe 10 minutes of kirtan. Normally I don't take this long to explain everything. I'm doing this because we're recording this. So this will be shown on YouTube. So people know this is what I said, this is what I did. And this is how our program runs, you know, like that. So they can see it on YouTube. Then they don't have me to do it again. They can watch it, they know what we're doing. Now we go straight into the program. So it takes less time. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Okay, so now we'll read the 7 boons of chanting the holy names of the Lord. So, can we start with you, Prabhuji? Can you just read the first one?
Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can
Just read number 1.
cleanse the mirror of the heart and
Okay, so basically, this is a prayer that is spoken by Lord Chaitanya. Who is Lord Chaitanya? Lord Chaitanya is Radha and Krishna coming back together. Why do they come back together? They come back together because Krishna wanted to find out why is it that Radharani enjoys more than me. Because he himself is an enjoyer, that is why he's called Rama. One of his names is Rama. Rama means, his name is Rama because there's a statement that says Ram iti rameti iti ramana. So Krishna is known as Ramana. One of his names is Ramana. Ram iti rameti iti ramana. Because he enjoys everyone, he is called Ramana. But his name is Ram like that. Radharani is also Ram. She is the original Ram. So then Krishna thinks, why Radharani is enjoying more than me? So I want to come and taste her love for me. So he comes as a devotee of Krishna. He himself as Krishna comes as a devotee of Krishna with the mood of Radharani, because a devotee of Krishna is nice, but the mood of Radharani is the most powerful mood of a devotee. She has the most powerful mood. So comes with her mood, and then he practices love of Krishna with her mood. And then he teaches us how we can also achieve the highest benefit of Krishna Bhakti. How we can achieve the highest benefit of love of God, like that. So he writes 8 stanzas. In his whole life he wrote only 8 stanzas. This is the first one. So nobody knows more than him. He is the greatest of all the lords. In fact, everyone anywhere in the world also worships him, like say for example, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is a very great personality, he's also Lord. But he worships Lord Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, in the 9 islands, which is known as Navadvipa, where Lord Chaitanya comes from, one of the islands is known as Rudradvip. That's named after Lord Shiva. There's another dweep that's called Simantadvip. That's named after Mother Durga. So Durga also worships Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's the best authority on everything. So he says that when you chant the holy names of the Lord, it will create all victory. And we all want victory, right, in our lives. And the first benefit it gives is it cleanses the mirror of the heart, because the heart, this is called the spiritual heart. That's why you see people say me. You don't see people saying me or me, right? They point here when they say me. Why? The spiritual heart is here. There, the little soul is there, that is the me. And the big soul, that is the Paramatma. Atma, Paramatma is sitting in everyone's heart, right? The Atma is you, and Paramatma is the Lord. Lord never separates from the Atma. So, but we don't see the Lord. We don't even see ourselves. We really don't see ourselves as Atma. We see ourselves as this body, right? But the body is like clothing. Imagine you only saw the clothing of a person, but you never saw the person. They say, what does he look like? You don't know the answer, because the clothing doesn't tell you what he looks like, right? You have to see the face to see what he looks like. And you have to see the body, what it looks like. Then you can say you've seen the person, right? Like that. So, to see your Atma clearly and Paramatma clearly, when you chant the holy names of the Lord, what happens is the heart becomes cleansed. It's like a mirror. So when the mirror has a lot of dirt on it, you cannot see, right? Right? Imagine if I told you that this is actually a mirror, and you say, no, it's a door. But then I start polishing, and then you see the mirror comes out, and now you can see ourselves. And you say, wow, it was a mirror. All the time I thought it was a door. You see what I'm saying? So in the same way, when we cleanse our heart, our true self is revealed, and the Lord is revealed to us. When that happens, now we can do everything properly in our life. You see, it is not the cloth that is doing, it is me who is doing, right? Correct? If I say I'm working for Microsoft and Microsoft is paying me $20,000 a month, I can't send my dhoti to Microsoft and say, I am there, pay me my $20,000. The dhoti is not me. You see what I'm saying? So in the same way, my body is not me. It is the Atma that is me. We're acting on the basis of the body. That is why we have problems. If we act on the basis of Atma, problems go away. Okay, now second benefit. Then number 2, Prabhuji.
Stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence.
So material existence is like a blazing fire of misery. There's always miseries going around in this material world. Right now, of course, it's become a little worse, right? If this continues in Iran, the situation that continues in Iran, we can see that our gas price might go from what was $2 something a gallon to something like $4 something a gallon, right? Price of food can go up. Jobs can be lost, right? In war times, employers lay off people because they don't have as much business. So naturally they're going to lay off people, right? All this can cause a lot of problems to people, right? They don't have a job. Most people in America live paycheck to paycheck. They don't get their paycheck, they're in big trouble. You see what I'm saying? Like that, right? So, and there are all other types of miseries, right? The misery of, the natural living, right? Where sometimes the body falls sick. Somebody has a problem with us and they create problems for us, or the weather becomes too hot, too cold. So many things happen, right? So these are all miseries, and the world is considered a blazing fire of material existence. What the chanting of the holy names does, Hare Krishna, what the chanting does is that it arrests, it stops those miseries. It helps us in stopping the miseries. So it's very important that we do that. Then number 3.
The chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities.
Yes, it is the waxing moon. Waxing moon means the growing moon. See, moon grows for 15 days, then it goes down for 15 days, becomes new moon, right? Then grows again to full moon, then goes to new moon. So the waxing moon is considered in the Vedas as a good time to do things. It is called the bright fortnight. So when you do some auspicious activity, you try to do it in the bright fortnight, the waxing. So things will become better and better and better for us. So it is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. If we chant, others around us will also have good fortune. You see what I'm saying? So we all want good fortune in our lives, right? So this gives us good fortune. Number 4.
It is the life and soul of all education.
Now we can see currently in education nobody teaches about the holy name. And yet it is the life and soul. If you take the life and soul out of something, what will be left? It's dead, right? When we see a dead body, it looks exactly the same as a person looked when they were alive, right? The difference is there's no Atma there now. The Atma is left. And we say so-and-so departed. But the person looks very much there. If the body was the person, the so-and-so is still there, right? That is why people cry. They feel bad. Oh, I cannot talk to this person anymore. I wish I had said I love you and this, that and the other. They feel some guilty feelings, right? I wish I had done more with this person because he's my father or my mother or my friend or my whoever, right? Especially if it's a relative, The both of us do a lot of death ceremonies because we are ministers. And I can tell you, it's a very terrible scene when we're doing a death ceremony. You know what I mean? It's really horrible, especially those who are very close. It's very hard for them.
I was at a funeral and they say, you've heard of wedding crashers, right?
Right.
You ever hear of funeral crashers?
Yeah, nobody crashes a funeral, right? Nobody crashes a funeral. They crash a wedding.
Yeah.
Why? To get some nice food. But nobody crashes a funeral. Why? Because it's misery, right? It's sad. Nobody wants to go where something sad is happening. Correct? In fact, they even say in India, in olden times, women were not allowed in a funeral ceremony. Why? Because women tend to be more emotional, right? If their child is there, they cannot handle the emotion, right? They can burn themselves. Actually, women used to burn themselves in the fire. That's how strong their attachment was for husband or whoever, right? Especially husband. So my point is that this is one that spreads, this is the soul of all education. This is why we're setting up a university now. All this is part of the university program, this Smyhl and everything we're doing. We're taking steps towards the university. First, we're telling people, your most powerful asset is God. There is no more powerful asset than God. If you have God with you, there is nothing you cannot do in your life. Arjuna had no chance of winning the battle of Kurukshetra. Zero chance. That is why Duryodhana was very happy, right? When Arjuna chose Krishna. He became completely satisfied. Oh, this is great. I'm going to get the Narayani army, undefeated army. What one person can do, this whole army there. And his army, right? He's already trained them, everything. Undefeated army. But the difference is God. The difference is always God. You see what I'm saying? So the soul of education. Number 5.
The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of
Dental.
transcendental life.
Yeah, transcendental life. Transcendental life, yeah. So basically, what is transcendental life? Transcendental life is life that is life beyond the life, which is even hard to imagine how great it is. Right? Imagine, say for example, I say to you that tomorrow you're going to get some money, and that money is going to be $5 quadrillion. What will you think? Not possible, right? If I got $1 billion, it would be great. $4 quadrillion? That's like not going to happen, right? You can't even imagine how great that is, right? That's transcendental. Now, 4 quadrillion is not transcendental. Beyond that is transcendental. Transcendental is where the soul is fully functional in Sat, Chit and Ananda, and the Lord is fully relating with that soul for complete bliss, for complete ecstasy. That is transcendental. So it says that when you chant, the Holy Name expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It means that now you will be entitled to transcendental life, and that ocean will be expanded so that you'll have just a totally amazing life. That's the 5th boon of chanting the holy names of the Lord. Okay, number 6. Prabhuji, you want to read number 6?
It gives a cooling effect to everyone.
Yes, and yeah, there you go. So, cooling effect, right? We all need to chill from time to time, right? In fact, there's a nice Hindi song that sings, right? Just chill. You know what I mean? Because when you chill, you feel calm, you feel collected, you feel fine. It's when you're too hot, that's when things don't look right? You are stressed out, you're not happy. So we tell people, calm down, chill, like that, right? So it gives a cooling effect. Chanting actually helps us get a cooling effect like that. Okay, then number 7.
Enables one to taste full nectar at every step.
This is what we want in our life. We want to be happy all the time, right? So imagine that every step of our life we can have happiness. That's a great boon, right? So these are the 7 boons of chanting the holy name. So that is why we do kirtan. Okay? Now we're going to do Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we'll read the 5 boons of Bhagavatam. And then you'll see, wow, I should be reading Bhagavatam every day. Okay? So let's do that. And so let's start from what we call chapter 1. We pretty much finished. Yeah, just open that and go to what's the first section is?
This is 6th canto, part 3.
That's okay, but open it. And what's the first chapter? Does it come with the chapter or introduction first?
Preface came, introduction,
Yeah,
chapter 14.
Chapter 14 starts chapter 14, right? Okay, just read the English and read it for 1 minute, and I'll stop you, and then the next person read for 1 minute. Like that, we're going to go around for about 5 or 10 minutes.
You want to read from chapter 14?
Chapter 14,
starting.
yeah, starting from the starting, yeah. And while you're doing that, I'm going to time you. So you'll read for a minute, then somebody else will read for a minute.
This 14th chapter, Parikshit Maharaja asks his spiritual master, Sukadeva Goswami, how such a demon as Vritasura could become an exalted devotee. In this connection, the previous life of Vritasura is discussed. This involves the story of Chitraketu and how he was victimized by lamentation because of the death of his son. Among many millions of living entities, the number of human beings is extremely small, and among human beings who are actually religious, only some are eager to be liberated from material existence. Among many thousands of people who desire relief from material existence, one is freed from the association of unwanted persons or is relieved of material contamination. And among many millions of such liberated persons, one may become a devotee of Lord Narayana.
Okay, stop there. Okay, so just let him know where you started.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, before you start, I'll have all of you put your hands together, please. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the first line of the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you read the first line, in the Vedas it is said, whatever starts will give 50% of the results of everything that will follow. So if you read just the first line of Bhagavatam, you get 50% of the benefit of the whole Bhagavatam's 18,000 verses. This is how powerful it is, right? So we just read the first line that way. Okay? Now continue. Then you continue, Prabhuji. From there.
Therefore, such devotees are extremely rare. Since bhakti, devotional service, is not ordinary, Parikshit Maharaj is astonished that an asura could rise to the exalted position of a devotee.
Excuse me, where is which chapter?
This is
Chapter
this
14, Mataji, this is
sixth canto, sixth canto, chapter 14, and the chapter is titled
King Chitraketu's Lamentation.
King Chitraketu's Lamentation. You got it?
Yes.
So,
Which shloka?
so he, you know, he's just reading the introduction, and only the English we're going to read, okay? Not the Sanskrit, just the English, just that everybody can read. Because not many of us know Sanskrit, so it's just let's skip to the English, okay? And so now he's reading what. Where are you on that page? On the first page? Is still the first page, introduction,
Yeah.
First
and
page,
and
second
then
paragraph.
second paragraph. Okay.
Okay, so being doubtful, Parikshit Maharaj inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, who then described Vritasura with the reference to his previous birth as Chitraketu, the king of Surasena. Chitraketu, who had no sons, got an opportunity to meet the great sage Angira. When Angira inquired from the king about his welfare, the king expresses moroseness, and therefore, by the grace of the great sage, the king's first wife, Krityadyuti, gave birth to a son, who was a cause of both happiness and lamentation. Upon the birth of this son, the king and all the residents of the palace were very happy. The co-wives of Krityadyuti, however, were envious, and later they administered poison to the child. Chitraketu was overwhelmed by the shock of his son's death.
Okay.
Then,
Stop there. Okay. And then, Prabhuji, can you read from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only one sentence.
No, you can continue with
You can continue. It's just we just continue. Yeah.
the translation.
Okay.
Read this and continue.
Then Narada Muni and Angira went to see him. King Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, O learned Brahmana, demons are generally sinful, being obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. How then could Vritasura have attained such exalted love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana? Demigods situated in the mode of goodness, and great saints cleansed of the dirt of material enjoyment, hardly ever rendered pure devotional service at the lotus feet of Mukunda. Therefore, how could Vritasura have become such a great devotee? In this material world, there are as many living entities as atoms. Among these living entities, a very few are human beings, and among them, few are interested in following religious principles. O best of the Brahmanas, Sukadeva Goswami, out of many persons who follow religious principles, only a few desire liberation from the material world. Among many thousands who desire liberation, one may actually achieve liberation, giving up material attachment to society, friendship, love, country, home, wife, and children.
Okay.
And
Stop there. All right. So, Mataji at the back, you want to read from there? You got the mark?
Mention which text you are reading, that will be helpful.
Text 4.
You got the read? Carry. Yeah. So carry on from where you stopped. Continue.
Yeah, Mataji, translation purport, continue reading, Mataji.
Okay, text 4.
Yeah.
O best among the Brahmanas, Sukadeva Goswami, out of many persons who follow religious principles, only a few desire liberation from the material world. Among many thousands who desire liberation, one may actually achieve liberation, giving up material attachment to society, friendship, love, country, home, wife, and children. And among many thousands of such liberated persons, one who can understand the true meaning of liberation is very rare. Shall I go to the problem?
Yeah, continue.
There are 4 classes of men.
Yeah, there are 4 classes of men.
That's correct, you're right. There are 4 classes.
Let them.
Okay, yeah, continue.
Text
You
5.
were supposed to continue next person anyway. Go ahead, yeah.
O great sage, among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayana or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare.
Purport, Balaji. You
Now
need to
keep
read
continuing for 1 minute. The idea is to keep reading.
So read the next one.
No, purport.
Text purport, text purport, text
6.
purport.
Vritrasura was situated in the blazing fire of battle and was an infamous
Did she read the
sinful
purport?
demon.
No,
All
read
his
the
sins-
purport to that text, not the...
Mataji, open
The previous text had a purport, right?
There is a purport here if you want.
Click the hyperlink of the text and then open it.
It's right there, like you can read right after the purport.
That's the purport, yeah. Go ahead.
So I'll read the purport of text 5.
Yes. Text 4, no? Text 5?
1 to 5.
Text 4 we didn't read, so read the text 4 one first.
Okay. There are 4 classes of men, namely karmis, jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. This statement pertains especially to karmis and jnanis. A karmi tries to be happy within this material world by changing from one body to another. His objective is bodily comfort, either in this planet or in another. When such a person becomes a jnani, however, he aspires for liberation from material bondage. Among many such persons who aspire for liberation, one may actually be liberated during his life.
Okay, stop there. Next person, start from there.
Such a person.
Such a person gives up his attachment for society, friendship, love, country, family, wife, and children. Among many such persons who are in the Vanaprastha stage, one may understand the value of becoming a sannyasi, completely accepting the renounced order of life. Text 5.
Text 5, purport.
Text 5 translation.
Purport. Here, she read the translation, read the
Okay.
purport, yeah.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the following purport to this verse. Simply desiring mukti or liberation is insufficient. One must become factually liberated. When one understands the futility of materialistic way of life, one becomes advanced in knowledge and therefore he situates himself in the Vanaprastha order unattached to family, wife and children. One should then further progress to the platform of sannyasa, the actual renounced order, never to fall again and be afflicted by materialistic life.
Okay, stop there. Next person.
Even though
Yeah, let her
Pro-
read.
pro-
Even though one desires to be liberated, this does not mean he is liberated. Only rarely is someone liberated. Indeed, although many men take sannyasa to become liberated because of their imperfections, they again become attached to women, material activities, social welfare, work, and so on. Jnanis, yogis, and karmis, devoid of devotional service, are called offenders. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mayavadi Krishna Aparadhi, one who thinks that everything is Maya instead of thinking that is everything is Krishna, is called an Aparadhi or offender. Although the Mayavadis, impersonalists, or offenders at the lotus feet of Krishna, they may nonetheless be counted among the siddhas. Those who have realized the self may be considered nearer to spiritual perfection. Because
Okay.
At least.
Okay. Did they finish the sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Next person from there.
At least they have realized what spiritual life is. If such a person becomes Narayana Parayana, a devotee of Lord Narayana, is better than Jivan Mukta, one who is liberated or perfect. This requires higher intelligence. There are two kinds of jnanis. One is inclined to devotional service and the other to impersonal realization. Impersonalists generally undergo great endeavor for no tangible benefit, and therefore it is said that they are husking paddy that has no grain. The other class of jnanis whose jnana is mixed with bhakti are also of two kinds. Those who are devoted to the so-called false from of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and those who understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Satchidananda Vigraha, the actual spiritual form. The Mayavadi devotees worship Narayana or Vishnu with the idea that Vishnu has accepted a form of Maya.
Okay, stop there. Prabhuji, can you read from there?
And that the ultimate truth is actually impersonal. The pure devotee, however, never thinks that Vishnu has accepted a body of Maya. Instead, he knows perfectly well that the original absolute truth is the Supreme Person. Such a devotee is actually situated in knowledge. He never merges in the Brahman effulgence, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. O Lord, the intelligence of those who think themselves liberated but who have no devotion is impure. Even though they rise to the highest point of liberation by dint of severe penances and austerities, they are sure to fall down again into material existence, for they do not take shelter at your lotus feet. Evidence of this same point is also given in Bhagavad Gita, wherein the Lord says, "Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be." When rascals see that Krishna acts exactly like a human being, they deride the transcendental form of the Lord because they do not know the Param Bhavam.
Okay, stop there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is that we're going to read the 5 benefits of reading like this, and then those 5 benefits, I'm going to have you 5 actually do the 5 benefits, okay? So that way everybody would have done some reading like that. Okay, so the first benefit, if you turn to that page, the second side of the first page, it'll say on it, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahima Stotra, prayers to the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Okay? So Mataji, can you do the first one, read the first one in English?
I don't have glasses. So
You don't have glass. Okay, it's hard for you. Okay, Mataji, can you do that? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, well, I'll come to him. We'll start here. Okay, I'll jump. You have the page in front of you, right? Yeah. Okay. You want to go ahead first? You can start first. Go ahead.
O nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, singular fruit of all the Vedas, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths, you are the only giver of light to all worlds.
Okay, so this is the first boon that you get from reading Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the boon? It says that this is the nectar of all scriptures. So when you read from Srimad Bhagavatam, you don't have to worry about any other scripture. This is the essence of the scriptures being brought into one place. That's the first benefit. Then, singular fruit of all the Vedas. When you read something, there is some benefit you are seeking, right? Some fruit. This is the only fruit. Then it says, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths. In this world, we are interested in truths, and the best truths are the conclusive truths. This one has all the gems of the conclusive truths all in one place. It's amazing how powerful Srimad Bhagavatam is. Then it says, you are the only giver of light to all the worlds. Can you imagine if without light, how a world will survive? No world can survive without light. This is the only giver of light. So it is because of Srimad Bhagavatam, by the way, that the sun operates. Most people don't know that. The sun will stop. If Srimad Bhagavatam left the planet, the sun will stop operating. The reason the sun operates is so that it can give life to the people who are actually living the life of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is why on certain planets you will see the sun has no effect because there are no devotees on that planet. So no effect will happen on that planet. There is no planet where there is no devotee, in the sense where the sun is coming. You see what I'm saying? That's why there are planets in this world that are so dark that they never get light all year long. You see what I'm saying? Pluto is one of those planets. There's no devotees there. There are snakes there. There are people live there. Do you know that the Chinese came from that place? That's why their writing is different from ours. That is why they have the power of snakes. Power of snakes is gems. Nobody can beat a Chinese person in gems. That's their nature. They know gems inside out. Now, Indians also know gems because they have become Vedic trained. So therefore they also know gems. You see what I'm saying? Like that. So this is the only giver. You can imagine, it's a great boon, right? Just to read Bhagavatam. Now the second one. So now Mataji, you can read the second one.
O life heir of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master, Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna.
Okay, here it goes. O life heir of the Supreme Lord's devotees. When you become the devotee, this is your prana. What can the body do without prana? Nothing, right? This is the prana of spiritual life. Now you can see why people are so spiritually bankrupt. Because they don't have much prana in their system. They're not pulling from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Then it says, O Master, Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. Kali Yuga is a very dark age. It's called the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. It's a dense dark age. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. How do you like that? It's saying that Srimad Bhagavatam is the exact image of Sri Krishna. Because what does an image do? What is the purpose of an image? If you have an image, like this is an image, right? You're seeing this as an image. You're not holding the phone in your hand. You are seeing the image of the phone, right? Right now. Correct? What does it do when you see an image?
It reminds.
Yeah, it tells you that it exists, right? It can also talk to you, right? I can talk to you through this phone. I can deal with you through this phone. I can relate to you through this phone. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam does. It's Krishna himself relating to you by coming in his image. His image as Shabda Brahman. He's Shabda. Shabda means sound incarnation of Krishna. Word incarnation of Krishna is Bhagavatam. And then the third one, Mataji.
I bow down to you, who are supremely blissful to read. Your energy syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself.
Okay, so it says, I bow down to you who are supremely blissful to read. So when you read Bhagavatam, bliss will come to you. And it says how it does it. Every syllable pours down a flood of prema. Prema means love. Love is the most powerful thing in the world that brings happiness to people. That is why they say the total creation cannot defeat true love, and true love can defeat the total creation. That's the power of true love. So here it says that every syllable, like when he said Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, that's 12 syllables in there. Om is 1 syllable, Namo 2 syllables, Bhagavate is 4 syllables, Vasudevaya 5 syllables. That's 12. 1 syllable will pour down a flood of Krishna Prema. How powerful is that, right? Then it says, you can always be served by everyone. Bhagavatam, see, Krishna, not everyone can serve. You have to have a standard. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Now you can serve Krishna. If you give up all varieties of religion and exclusively surrender to his lotus feet. Bhagavatam doesn't say anything like that. Bhagavatam says, everyone, please come. I want to give you advantage. And then says, you are Sri Krishna himself. Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. How powerful is that, right? Next statement, Prabhuji.
My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy, I bow down to you.
How powerful this is. My only friend. Now, we all think we have friends, right? And we do have friends, but they're not complete friends because they cannot do everything for us. A true friend should be able to do anything and everything for you. They give their life to you. That's a true friend, right? So this is Srimad Bhagavatam. It'll do for you what all your friends put together cannot do. And then it says, my constant companion, because a lot of times we feel alone in our lives, right? They say in America, The biggest problem that people are facing in America is loneliness. Even though they're living with others, they still feel lonely. Because they don't feel anybody really understands me, cares about me, loves me how I want to be treated. Here, Bhagavatam will do that for you. My spiritual master, because the Bhagavad Gita says that you cannot understand God without Guru. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena seveya upadaksyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. You must have a Guru. So it's very hard to find Gurus in this world because 99.7% of them are bogus. They're not really Gurus. Gurus is a person who can train you to become a Guru and come to see Krishna face to face. If a Guru cannot help you see Krishna face to face, that is not a true Guru. That's what Krishna himself says. Because he's Tattvadarshi. Tattvadarshi means he has seen Krishna and he can show you Krishna. Most Gurus are interested in followers. And then they live a nice life. Because the follower is doing everything for them. Right? Because there are enough unintelligent people in this world. Someone calls himself Guru, they'll throw themselves at that person. Oh Maharaj, what do you want? You want money? You want house to stay? You want food to eat? And people think, oh, Guru business is good business, right? It's the best business actually. You don't need any qualification. You don't need education. You don't need money. You don't need to be smart. All you need is a little bit of right clothing, put a stick in your hand, go bam bam bole a little while or something. You're already Guru. That's not Guru. Guru is clearly defined in scripture as a person who knows scripture, who lives by that scripture, by example, character, and can show you God. That is Guru. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you can't find the Guru, you don't have to. Srimad Bhagavatam is ready to become your Guru. How powerful is that, right? Then it says, my great wealth. Now in this world we know everybody is chasing wealth, right? Who's not chasing wealth? Everybody is chasing wealth. Here's the great wealth. Then it says, my savior. Because we like to be saved from time to time we get into some type of a problem, we want to be saved, right? So this is your savior. My good fortune. Right? My good fortune. Everybody is looking for fortune in their life. Here's Srimad Bhagavatam. My source of ecstasy. Everybody is looking for pleasure in their life, right? Bhagavatam is the source of ecstasy. I bow down to you. And then the last one, Prabhuji.
O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, O
Exalter
exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love.
Great. O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly. We're all unsaintly. We all are sinners. We all make mistakes. We all do things that are not right from time to time, correct? Here Bhagavatam helps us become saintly. It bestows. Bestow means it doesn't charge. When someone bestows something on you, means they gave it to you free of charge. You see what I'm saying? Bhagavatam is ready to bestow us saintliness. And then, more than that, O exalter of the most fallen. Exalter means one that raises you to the highest position is called an exalter. So it takes you from wherever you are to your highest position. How nice is that, right? And then says, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love. If your heart is filled with pure love and you speak pure love, you will be the most beloved person to everybody. That is why Jesus was so beloved. His heart was pure gold and he spoke pure gold. Today he is being worshipped. 2,000 years later, they still remember and worship him. How many of us will we remember 10 years after we die? Who will worship us 1 year after we die? Worship us? Nobody, right? That was Jesus. Today, Prabhupada is celebrated because his heart was filled with love for everybody. One time, one devotee said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, how come everybody loves you? Prabhupada said, because I love everyone. So what goes around, comes around. It's hard to love everyone, right? Very hard to love terrorists, isn't it? How many of us love terrorists? I don't think so. You see what I'm saying?
All is being recorded, right?
Yeah, it's being recorded. You see what I'm saying? That's why nobody's putting their hand up. But nobody loves terrorists because that we don't have the ability to see the soul. We have the ability to see the person in terms of their body, what they do, this, that. Now, I'm not saying we should love terrorists. Please don't misunderstand me. What I am saying is that a person whose heart is filled with love, voice is filled with love, that person will be able to do much more in their lives. They'll impact many more people in their lives. Like Prabhupada impacted so many people, right? At one time in India it is said, if anybody crosses the ocean, that is considered sinful. If you preach Bhagavad Katha to anybody outside of India, then that is a sin. Prabhupada crossed the ocean, came and spoke to people who had no idea of what, and he made them into devotees. Right? That means his heart must have been filled with love of God. You have to have the power of God to be able to do what God does. Correct? So here, Bhagavatam does that to us. So you can see these 5 boons on Bhagavatam and 7 boons of chantings, 12 boons can give you everything in your life. All for 10 minutes, 20 minutes of reading, once a week is all we're asking. That's not asking much. You see what I'm saying? If we all start doing that, it'll be amazing what this world will become. Just those 20 minutes, and then now we're going to do the next thing, which is called Amya. And that's on your next page. It says Amya at a glance. By the way, before I move away from those 12 boons, anybody has questions, concerns, doubts? Anything that you feel like doesn't make sense? I'm sure there are. Anyway, like I said, join our site and ask those questions, put it on the site. Put the question on the site and we'll give the answers. Okay, AMYA at a glance. What is AMYA? AMYA is an acronym, AMHYA. That's why it's called AMYA, AMHYA. The A stands for added hearts. The number one principle in life is, whatever you do, do it with God as your partner. Join God with you in your heart, make Him your partner in your life, and do things together. You will do amazing things because there's nothing God cannot do. It's just like we have young children, right? Right? Imagine you have a 1-year-old kid. What the 1-year-old kid can do? Can the kid go out and say, "Oh, Dad, you're only earning $10,000 a month. I'll go out and earn $20,000 a month." Can the kid do that? No. Kid can't go to school and say, "I'll get my education and become the biggest doctor in the planet." No. They need the parent, right? In fact, if they leave the house at 1 year of age, what will happen to them? They'll have a terrible life. They'll get kidnapped, right? And those who kidnap, they don't kidnap that person to show love. They kidnap that person to exploit. Right? So that person will have a terrible life. The parents may not be able to sleep all night and day, right? I mean, eat in the day and sleep in the night because child is lost, right? So we are like that. We are children to God. Krishna says, "Aham bij pradapitaha." I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. We are His children. So if we join hands with Him, stay with your parents, you're safe, right? If you run out on the street and think, "I can go anywhere I like," you're in trouble now. You see what I'm saying? But all of us do that. We run away from God and don't even know who God is, never talk to God, never relate with God. So that's the first A in Amya. Then the M stands for me set. How many of you heard this word mindset? Right? You heard the word mindset? So the idea is you should have a good mindset, right? But mind is only one out of 11 things that we have a connection with. We are also connected with sense objects. That's the first thing we're connected with. The second is our own senses, the 5 senses. The third is our mind. The fourth is our intelligence. The fifth is our egos. The sixth is our consciousness. The seventh is our real ego. First comes the false ego, then comes the real ego. Eighth is our Atma. Right? Ninth is Brahmand. 10th is Paramatma, and 11th is Krishna Himself. Parabrahman. These 11 have to be working properly. Imagine you have an 11-cylinder car. Let's just take a 10-cylinder car. Right? They don't have 11-cylinder car. The cylinders are normally even. Right? Let's just take a 6-cylinder car. Let's drop it down to 6 cylinders. Right? If one cylinder is not working, what will happen? The car will make a lot of noise, right? It might move a little bit, but it'll make a lot of noise. It won't do very much. You see what I'm saying? So if our 11 cylinders are not firing, can you imagine why we're not doing well? One of the cylinders is not firing. Either the Krishna cylinder is not firing, or the The Brahman cylinder is not firing, or the Paramatma cylinder is not, the Atma one is not firing, the false ego is not firing, the ego is not firing, something is not firing in the system. We don't even know they should be all firing. So in MISAT, we explain this so that we can now become properly organized in our life. As far as me, so I can fix me first. If I don't fix me, how am I going to fix anything else, right? Then the third is called the heart-centered. The heart is here. This is the heart where we have the little eye and the big eye, right? If you center your activities from here, it's with God now, right? Obviously it's going to do better. That's why they say the mind can be very turbulent. The heart is more stable. If the heart becomes turbulent, means you're dying. Okay? You talk to the doctor, doctors will tell you that. If the heart becomes like boom, 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 then maybe you're going. The mind is always going boom, 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 but nobody goes. They actually stay. You see what I'm saying? So the idea is, center your activities from the heart. We teach people how to do that, by the way. That's what that one is. Then the next one, you flip the page, it says Y for Yobira. Yobira means your omni-best identity reveals all. We should know our identity. We should know who we really are. Are you Brahminical by nature, Kshatriya by nature, Shudra by nature? All these are good. No, Shudra is not bad, by the way. It's the bad understanding when say Shudra is bad. Shudra simply means that you are none of the other three. Brahmin means those who are intellectuals. Kshatriya means those who are governing type people, warriors on the battlefield, administrators. That's Kshatriya. Vaishya means producers. Either you're a farmer or trader or something like that. And the Shudras, we're not interested in the three, but we're ready to serve those who are in that three and help them achieve what they achieve. So they're also good. By the way, did you know that the greatest singers in this world, the greatest dancers in the world, all come from Shudra background? Shudras are number one in art. No one can beat Shudras in art. Now, how important is art today? Very important, right? Do you know some of the richest people, they don't invest in stocks and bonds, they invest in art. It's more stable, it grows very fast in value. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a Picasso today, do you know it will be worth what? Millions. Huh? Many millions, right? And when Picasso was on the planet, how much did people pay for his Picasso? Nothing. Hardly anything. That's why they call them starving artists. Why do they call them starving artists? Because if you become an artist, you'll starve, right? How many parents tell their children, please become an artist? You see what I'm saying? Why? Because they think my son will starve, my daughter will starve. I don't want you to become artist. You please become doctor, lawyer, architect, engineer.
Only as a passion,
Huh?
as a profession.
Sorry?
You want them to pursue that as a passion.
Passion,
as a profession.
but not as a profession. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Passion is very nice. Learn to sing. They say if you learn to sing, you learn to play instruments, your brain will develop faster. That's Shudra. So how are we saying Shudra is fourth class? Since when did Shudra become fourth class? They're not fourth class. They're just one of the ashramas, one of the varnas. Thank you. One of the varnas. That's all. 4 varnas, right? There's a 5th varna, by the way. The 5th varna is called the Yavanas. These guys are none of the other 4. They're more like animals living like human beings, pretty much. Shudras are not animal. They're human beings. They should be very highly respected. You see what I'm saying? Like that. But somehow in our culture, we didn't learn that properly. Again, why? The Brahmanas said the Shudras are 4th class. So we heard it. The Brahmins themselves are 4th class. They're not following their Brahmin culture properly. Okay. Then the A stands for something very interesting. We call it A5 in THE10. What is THE10? I'm going to explain that first. THE10 means total health empowerment. So there are 10 areas of our life we should be empowered in. That's listed there. Financial health, physical health, mental health, intellectual health, emotional health, right? Like that. So those 10 things are all important to us in our lives. So we call it total health empowerment. Look after all 10. You need to look after all 10. It's just like in your body, there are many parts to your body, right? How much space does the nose occupy in the whole body, percentage-wise?
92%.
No. That would be a very big nose.
5%.
Take a body and make 2% of it, you will see, whoa, that's a huge nose, man. It's less than 1%, let me tell you right now. Okay? Less than 1% the body's nose. Can I say, since 99% is working well, I'll just throw the 1% away? What will happen to you if you throw your nose away? Get rid of your nose. You might die, right? You might not, because there's an ecological system working here, right? Everything has ecology. There's a science to life. So in the same way, these 10 work together in tandem, in science. You can't say money is not important. When anybody would come to Prabhupada and say, money is not important, Prabhupada would say, okay, give me your money. There are sadhus in India who say we cannot count, and they're very rich. So Prabhupada would go to them and say, since you can't count the money, give it to me. Right? How can you say money is not important when money is Lakshmi? Lakshmi is Narayan's consort, right? How can you say the wife is not important? God's wife? Okay, you might think your wife is not important, which is a silly thing to do and a really bad thing to do. You're making the biggest mistake of your life because happy wife, happy life. You can forget your happiness too with it. And by the way, if you mistreat your wife, you know what the Vedas say will happen to you? For the next 10,000 lives, you will be the wife who will be mistreated by your husband. 10,000 lives. That's a pretty serious consequence. I'd rather suffer and let my wife be happy. I don't want 10,000 lifetimes of suffering, you know what I'm saying? That's the confirmation, by the way. Okay, so what is A5? A5 means when you do something, there's a way to create movement with simple steps. Step number 1, understand your agency. Agency means understand yourself. What are your capabilities? What capabilities do you have? That's called your agency. Number 2, act on it. Make a small act based on that agency. Right? That small act will create some small result. That's called your achievement. That small achievement will create authenticity. You will feel authentic now because the result happened, right? And finally, that authenticity will give you happiness, which is called your affinity. It will make you feel good. So those are the 5 A's. That affinity will make your agency grow bigger, right? So let's take an example. What is an agency that somebody might have? Something that somebody might have as an ability. Every one of us has. Give me some ability that you have.
Judgment.
Simple ability, huh?
Judgment.
Judgment, yeah, it's a very big ability. But okay, let's just take judgment. What can you do based on judgment that can create a result as a result of that judgment? What can you do? What is some small action that you can take based on judgment? Discernment, yeah. But what is the action? That is still agency.
Getting good results.
That's achievement. Action. What action can you take based... You gave a complicated answer, okay? So it's going to be a complicated process now. But
Sorry.
you want to go to a more simple one? Okay? Let's go to a more simple one.
Singing.
So singing for judgment?
No.
Oh, singing, okay. Okay, you have ability to sing. Okay, so you have ability to sing. Okay, let's just take your ability to sing, right? What is one small thing you can do because you have ability to sing? You sing. You're in the bathroom, you're taking a bath and you sing, right? Because you have ability to sing, right? You're a bathroom singer. You don't want anybody to hear singing because you think you sound like a frog and you don't want anybody to hear your frog singing, right? So you decide, I'm going to sing on my own in the bathroom, right? Okay, what will happen when you sing? What's the result? Happiness will come, that's for sure. What else?
Practice.
Yes. You'll become better at your singing, right? Practice makes perfect, right? How do singers sing? You go to India, find out when they train people for singing, what do? They make them go ah, ah, ah for a whole day, right? And they think, what am I doing? I'm just doing ah all day long? But that ah will now make you understand when the ah comes in the singing, how you're going to do it properly, right? Correct? And then they become big, Ustad, Vilayat Khan and all whatever the names they get, right? Big names, right? I mean, amongst the Indians, who are some very great singers? Lata Mangeshkar? Do you think Lata Mangeshkar just started singing on her own one day? No. She got trained, right? She practiced. And then she became the Nightingale of India, right? They called her the Nightingale of India, right? Wonderful singer. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so now you can sing You got the achievement that you become a better singer. So you're going to feel like, now I can sing, right? That's authenticity. Authenticity means that you are real. You're not faking it. So now you feel real. Now you feel real, what's going to happen? You're going to feel good about it, right? What's that going to do? You're going to sing more, right? You don't think, I sang one time, I'm never going to sing in my life again. I already did it. Why I need to sing? No, you'll sing more. When Elon Musk made his $1 billion, when Elon Musk made his first $1 billion, what did he do? He thought, I made billion, I'm billionaire, why worry, right? No. What did he do? Make another billion. And now he's 800 billion. What is he doing? He's trying to get to trillion now, right? What do you think will happen when he gets to trillion? He'll try and get to quadrillion. And once he gets quadrillion, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to go to quintillion. Then pentillion, right? Pentillion, quintillion, right? Like that. Septillion, sextillion, nantillion, octillion. It keeps going, right? That's what happened to Hiranyakashipu. He won the whole creation. There was not a place in creation, a point of a needle can sit, that didn't belong to Hiranyakashipu. That's how wealthy he became. What did he want after that? He wanted Vaikuntha. Now I got the whole material world under my belt. My next part is Vaikuntha. So he decided, if I can kill Vishnu, I can take over Vaikuntha now, right? What happened when he tried to kill Vishnu? He got squished like a bug between the fingernails of Vishnu. You know how in India sometimes they do that, they part your hair and then they pick up a bug and then they squeeze it. That's the result he got after that hard work of winning the whole creation. You think that's a great end result? How many want that? How many of you would like to die as a bug in the end of this life? That is going to be how you're going to die. That's a pretty stupid death, right? And the best person in the world had that stupid death. What does that tell us? He was chasing the wrong thing. He had enough money when he had planet Earth. That was good enough, right? Didn't have to chase the other planets and chase all the demigods from their planets and take over those planets, well, chase everybody from hell, take over hell as well. He didn't need to do all that, right? You get the idea. So here what we're saying is, you can multiply your agency, your abilities by doing this process. And then what you do is you add people in who also like the same process. So now if you want to become a great singer, what do? You join an association of singers. You see people doing that all the time, right? If you're a good lawyer, you will be part of a lawyer association. Why? Because then you learn to do even better as a lawyer. If you're a doctor, you join a doctor's association. If you're a devotee, you join a devotees association. Why do you have Sangha, Sadhu Sangha? Because devotees are getting together and creating association amongst devotees, right? Women form women's organizations, right? Why they form women's organizations? You don't have to form women's organization to breathe, to have a job, to eat.
Become stronger, more.
You become better. You achieve more. So you have associations. So now the A5 can be done with other people who are like-minded, and now you're creating a movement on the planet. That's what Prabhupada did, and you can see what ISKCON is now. That's exactly what he did. This is the process he followed. He had nothing when he first came to America, except for a trunk of books. He had no money. He had 8 rupees, which was worth 80 rupees, right? 8 or 80, 40 rupees. He had 40 rupees, yeah. 40 rupees was worth nothing, because the Reserve Bank of India had said, if you take rupees out of India, it cannot be converted. You want to convert, you have to come through the Reserve Bank to convert. So when he took the rupees to the exchange guy, the money exchange guy, the guy said, sorry, we cannot take Indian rupees. So he had nothing. And today, multi-billion-dollar organization is running based on what he started. And how did he start? First he went and stayed in a place which was inhabited by people who were homeless. Haight-Ashbury in New York was where homeless people were staying, who could not pay rent, who cannot have anything. They stay there, they would drink and be completely dirty people, and then Prabhupada stayed amongst them. Because that was his only place he could stay. He didn't have any money. And he started this amazing movement, and today amazing people have joined that movement. Great people have joined the movement, and the movement is highly respected all over the world. He followed this process. This is Amya. This is what we teach to people. So everybody can do great in their life. Every one of you is a child of Krishna. Krishna wants you to do greater than him. Just like you have children, you want your children to do better than you or worse than you? Better. So you think Krishna is a very insecure person, he doesn't want anybody better than him. He's very secure. Who does better than Krishna? There are people. Who? Huh?
Krishna's devotees.
Sometimes. I don't. You have to give me a name. They say Krishna devotee, it doesn't mean anything. Radharani, yeah, you can say Radharani does better than Krishna. Radharani gets mad, Krishna can come and beg her. There's no doubt. Somebody, simple. Mother Yashoda, right? Mother Yashoda lifts a stick, Krishna sits down straight away. And here the big yogi is all day and night meditating on Krishna just to see Krishna. And here's Mother Yashoda saying, Krishna, sit down. He sits down. Right? Just like, how many of you have dogs in the house, by the way? Any of you? One, okay. So if you tell the dog to sit, what happens? The dog sits. Dogs are trained, right? Sit, sit. Roll over, roll over. Stand up, stand up. Krishna, Radharani, Mother Yashoda is telling Krishna. That's the power of Mother Yashoda. Do you know when Krishna and Radharani together, if Mother Yashoda walks into that scene, stop everything. Both run to Mother Yashoda, touch her feet, Maya, Maya, so nice to see you. Because of you, our life is successful. Both of them touch his feet. Radharani also touches Maya's feet. Right? Sridham, who's Krishna's elder brother, they say whenever Krishna and Sridham fight, Sridham always wins the fight. Physical fight I'm talking, not intellectual fight. Even if it was intellectual, it would be great, right? How come these people became greater than Krishna? Because Krishna is not insecure. He can let somebody become greater and still be the greatest. You see what I'm saying? So, these are things that we want people to learn, and that's why we started Amya. Okay? And then you do 10 minutes after talking like this and talking some micro win, and then follow through. Next week, see how did you do. Record what you did. Because once you record what you did and celebrate what you did, now you'll do bigger things, right? And one day you will do such big things that people will say, how did this person become so successful? This was the formula. Simple formula. Right? So that's Amya. So then we do 10 more minutes of chanting, and then you're done. 1 hour a week. This is the process. 10 minutes chanting, 5 minutes reading the 7 boons of the Kirtan, 10 minutes Bhagavatam, 5 minutes reading the boons of Bhagavatam, 20 minutes Amya, work out your micro-win, and then 10 minutes of Kirtan again. That's 1 hour. That's Smyhl. Okay? Any questions before we move on? The next part of the program is we're going to install Jagannath. Now, installation process is called Pran Pratishtha. Pran Pratishtha is not a small, simple thing. It's a very big program, done normally for a week. We did it. We worked out a very intelligent method that works also. We do a 5-hour yagya in Mayapur, which is our spiritual headquarters, by priests who start a fire by mantra, not like we do, light a match and start the fire. These guys are highly trained in doing yagyas. So these priests do a yagya, a 5-hour yagya, 5 priests. That means 25 priest hours. Okay? Every Sankranti. What is Sankranti? Anybody know what Sankranti is? Sankranti?
Sun changes.
Sun changes, yeah. The sun moves into its next sign, that is called Sankranti. Like when it moves into Capricorn, that's called Makar Sankranti. Right? Recently it just moved into Pisces, that's called Meen Sankranti. Right? Next Sankranti is going to be Kumbh Sankranti. So there are 12 Sankrantis in a year. Generally we only know the first one, Makar Sankranti. Because people don't normally celebrate Sankrantis, you see what I'm saying. But the benefit of a Sankranti is that on Sankranti day, any pious activity you do or sinful activity you do will multiply 400,000 times. So imagine you go to the temple and give $1, you've given $400,000. So that's the poor man's way of catching up with the rich guy. You see what I'm saying? But obviously Krishna is not looking for dollars, right? What is he looking for most? Prema, exactly. He's looking for love, right? So on that day you go and express some love to the Lord. That means you expressed your love 400,000 times to the Lord, right? How happy the Lord is going to be? Correct? So on that day we do a fire sacrifice for the installation of our Jagannath. 12 times a year. So that's 25 hours times 12, which is 300 hours of proper yagya, which multiplies 400,000 times, by the way. Any of you good at math? What is 300 multiplied by 400,000? That's 1.2 million multiplied by 30, right?
120 million.
300 million multiplied by 400,000, 120 million, right?
Yeah.
That's 120 million hours of Pran Pratishtha we do for Jagannath. You can imagine how strong that Pran Pratishtha is, right? The Lord actually comes into your house, like in a temple. Just as in a temple, the Lord is there, temple is our Lord. That's what we're going to do today. And how we're going to do it is something like this. We're going to do three things. One is, we're going to do what is called a Nisingha Homa. Now, Nisingha Homa normally is done with a fire, and I told you just today why we're not doing it the old way, because now the law in America has changed. It's become very clear. You cannot do a Homa inside the house without fire department approval. If you do that, you're doing something illegal. Any of you have got a H-1B visa, you're out of the country. Any H-1B person does illegal thing in America today, you're out of the country. That's the right they have to push you out. So don't play games. Follow everything legally. Do everything legal. Stay illegal. Don't do anything illegal. Prabhupada already said that long ago to us. Don't ever do anything illegal. So how can you do a Homa without creating a fire? There's a way to do it. You create a lamp. You keep the mantras. You do the lamp and you work with the Lord, because the fire that you lit is the mouth of Krishna, and that is his, the fire of digestion. Because in our body we have what is called the fire of digestion. When they do the Anna Prasanna ceremony, when they feed the child the first, they offer a prayer to the fire in the belly. So that fire will work well and the child will be able to digest food properly. But there's a fire here too, on the throat, that is called the fire of communications. If this fire works well, you're communicating nicely. If this fire works well, then your digestion is very good. And if this fire works well, your heart is in top condition. That's love. That's the power of love. And there's one more fire that sits up here. That's the ultimate fire. That's the fire that's supposed to send you back to God. So when you do the cremation ceremony, like we are both ministers and do cremations, we offer prayer to that fire on behalf of the person who we're cremating. This is science. This is understanding Brahmanism properly. You see what I'm saying? So, my point is that today we're going to do the Homa. How we're going to do the Homa is, I'll chant the mantras for Lord Nrsimhadev. And some of you know the mantra, Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalandam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityur Mrityum Namamyaham. Right? So we're going to continuously chant that. And every time I do that, I'm going to say Swaha. And what you're going to take flower petals and put it on the Lord. Now, the way we do it in a fire sacrifice, we take rice and put it into the fire. We are feeding the Lord. Here we're offering our love to the Lord. Flower petals is love. You're feeding the Lord with love. But then we're also going to offer him food, because food has been made, right? Yeah. Food has been made. So that food we can put here in front of the Lord, and that the Lord will eat at the right time. I'll tell you when. Okay? So now that's better than just rice, right? There's a full meal now being offered to the Lord. So you can see we cover everything. And when you offer flower petals to the Lord, that is called Pushpa Abhishek. And Pushpa Abhishek is very powerful form of Abhishek. Abhishekam is a way of expressing Lord to the love with different ingredients, particularly what is called the Panchagavya. Panchagavya means milk, yogurt, ghee, cow urine, and cow dung. These five are Panchagavya. You put 5 things together, that's called Panchagavya. So normally in Abhishek, Panchagavya is given to the Lord like that. Because the Lord loves the cow, mother cow. So she's being bathed by mother cow like that. all the different elements of mother cow like that. Of course, in Dallas, we don't use the any part of the cow dung, because in America it's illegal to do that. But in India they do. They put a little bit of cow dung into the mix. So you don't taste the cow dung, but it's there. There's some cow urine too, but mainly it's milk, yogurt, and ghee, and then they add honey into it. It makes it taste nice. In Dallas, we also put in juices of different fruits, like watermelon juice, mango juice, and all that. So our Chanamta tastes very nice. People like to drink too much of it. They're supposed to drink only a little bit, but they take a whole cup of it and drink the whole cup. So that is the Panchamrita from the Abhishek Panchamrita, like that. Abhishek Charanamrita. Okay, so we will be doing that ceremony. Okay, so that way we would have installed Jagannath in the house now, and Jagannath will really be in the house. Now you can talk to Jagannath, ask him things, do things with him. And Jagannath particularly comes to this world for one reason only, and that is to relate with us how we want to relate with him. He does not come as God. He can be treated as God, but that's not what he wants. He wants to be treated as either a friend, or a brother, or a husband, or a beloved, or a brother-in-law, or father-in-law. Like men, right? How do you have a relationship with men, right? Can be your son, your father, your son, your brother, brother-in-law, father-in-law, husband, beloved. All these are different ways you can deal with men, right? So you choose one relationship and stay in that relationship. Don't cross relationships. If he's your friend, don't start bowing down to him and doing puja to him. How many of you do puja to your friends all the time? You take arti and you do arti and, pray to the friend and say, please give me $1 billion in my bank account, like you normally do to God, right? A lot of people do that to God, right? Please, God, give me bank balance, nice health, education for my children, and 5 more things, and Om Jai Jagdish Hare. Right? So the Lord will be happy. I took his name, so now he's happy. He's going to give you all this. He's not like your shopping list, That's not God. You're not supposed to go with a shopping list to God and talk to God. With God, the only thing you should be saying is, how can I help? How can I serve you? How can I please you? What can I do to please you? And the number one thing you can do to please God is to serve others who are children of God. It's just like in our lives, right? If someone looks after our children nicely, we become obliged to that person. We feel it's a nice person helping me to take up my responsibility. Like that. So we're going to do that part now.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And then we'll serve the food out?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So we'll all get up and take some flower petals in your hands. And I've already lit the fire when I started. So the first thing when you do a homa is to invite Yamaraj. Because Yamaraj is the Lord of Dharma. He's called Dharmaraj. That is why Yudhishthira was called the king, because he is Dharmaraj's son, right? He's the son of Yamaraj. So he actually becomes Dharmaraj. So everybody take some flower petals. You'll be offering the flower petals 9 times. I don't know if you have enough for 9 times.
Yeah, we have.
Have more also.
Oh, you have more? Okay.
Take more.
Take more so you can offer 9 times flower petals, because we in a Abhishek, Pushpa Abhishek, or any Abhishek, we do 9 times at least. And then in the Homa, I'll also do it 9 times so that we can do the Homa at the same time. So I've lit the fire by saying Om Kravyadam Agnim Pranomi Duram Yamarajam Gachatu Ripravaha. So that's the mantra that is chanted when Agni is started. And then I want you all to chant a mantra for purification so that you will all feel purified, right? So please repeat after me. Om Apavitraha Pavitrova Sarvavasthan Gato Piva Yaha Smaret Pundarikaksham Sabhya Abhyantaraha Suchihi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Okay, so that is the purification mantra. Okay, like I said, we're going to do it in a different way today. So that's the purification mantra. And then now, when I actually say swaha, I'd like you to come. You can't be that far away. Your kettles, unless you have some
Everyone, please come closer.
some siddhi, you will make that flower petal go from all the way there to here.
Everyone come closer.
And then
Once
come
we
closer.
offer, then we can take turns.
Yeah. And then everybody make sure that, we're able to offer the flower petals. We'll get out of the way a little bit here. Just so that. Okay. So yeah, make sure that you offer the flower petals, and please keep some gap in the middle. Because what happens, the people at the back can come and then offer the flower petal and go back. Okay? All right? So please repeat after me. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Swaha. Come and offer one flower petal, just offer it anywhere, either side. Put in the middle anywhere, that's fine. Okay, one petal at a time, because you'll be running out of petals otherwise. Okay, very good. So everybody come, please make sure you've all done it. Take your time, no rush, okay? 9 times you'll be offering the flower petals, remember. Okay, you can just offer one, both of them receive it, the same Jagannath on both sides. They're not different Jagannaths. Okay, very good, thank you. And then, everybody done? Some more? Please come, please. All right, nice. Everybody did it? Yes?
Yes.
Mother Tammy? Wonderful. All right. Anand Prabhu? You didn't?
Yeah. It was a good throw.
You had a good throw. Okay. All right. Okay. So now please repeat after me. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityur Namamyaham Swaha. Okay. Just offer it and move back a little bit so that others can come in. Very nice. Thank you. And as you're coming and do it, I'm going to ask you to still continue chanting the mantra so that we don't have to wait as much. So please repeat again. And while we're saying this, please offer if you have not offered, okay? Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityur Namamyaham Swaha. Nice. Very good. Very good. So again, continue. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhadram Mrityur Namamyaham Swaha. Great. Everybody please do. Okay, we did 3 times. Now we got next 3 times and one more 3 times. Now with 9 times. Okay. Very good. All right. Let's start again. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnam Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityur Namamyaham Swaha. Okay, that's really good. Okay. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityu Namamyaham Swaha. Very good, very nice. All right. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityu Namamyaham Swaha. Nice. Good. 3 more times. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityu Namamyaham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityu Namamyaham Swaha. Okay, one more time. Nice, very good. Very good. Nice. Nice. Okay. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nisingham Bhishnam Bhadram Mrityu Namamyaham Swaha. Okay, so everybody, while you're doing that, please repeat after me. Om Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Sri Nrsimha ki Jai. Sri Hare Krishna Maha Mantra ki Jai. Sri Vaishnava Jana ki Jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Shri Radha Kalachanji ki Jai. Shri Radha Govinda ji ki Jai. Shri 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 Panchatattva ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Bol.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Shri Prabhupada. So now at this time, what I'd like you to put your hands together, close your eyes, and ask anything from the Lord that you want. This is the time to do that. Thank you very much. And now you can just offer your obeisances to the Lord. So that okay, so now we'll take some bhoga and offer to the Lord. Yeah, nice, nice. So basically the idea is the offering should be done for 5 minutes and then we can serve. So now you want to take the QR code here so that everybody can put on their phone.